All right, everyone. I'm going to go ahead and address what I did not address when all this mess was going on. But I see now why a viewer was asking me, not just my regular viewer, but another viewer that I ain't never seen before. But, he made light of it and was just saying it's almost like parasocial, where you're saying something, but you're not really calling them out on what you're saying. So it leads people to wonder if that's who you're talking about. Okay, so I can completely understand that part. So I'm making this video here to sort of explain as to what all happened after the fact and why I did not talk with Kimmy afterwards. My video that I did, my last video, basically summing it up and letting everybody know that Carter wanted to apologize to me for what had happened or whatever, and he wanted to do it publicly. I literally told him on that live it was not necessary for him to do, okay, because I was really just trying to let it all go. I was going to still talk to Kimmy about afterwards, because just in case something popped off and, he did go out and say anything, I wanted to kind of just hear what she had to say or whatever before it kind of went all crazy. But I did not. I did not talk to her because I really was trying to let it go, because I know how I can keep digging and digging until I get down to the very bottom of everything and I know all the details. So to go ahead and just let that fizzle out, I just didn't talk with her anymore. She kept coming in my on my videos, writing, begging me to talk with her because she just wanted a chance to explain. Now here's the thing. This is why I did not do it after the live, because I did multiple live videos for Kimmy and or Carter to come on my video, live video, and talk to me. Now, I understand Carter's stance after we did our live when we was on Clones TV. I completely understand. If he was up under the illusion that what this woman was saying, and I was coming at her like I was bullying her, I totally get why he stood up for her, okay? But as we all learned on that live, Kimmy was changing stories based off of who she was talking. Heck, she was even changing stories with me on my original contact with her as Kimmy. She changed it and said that she told me about the ace person, but really I never even heard about no ace person until I made that community post, and syndicated media TV posted on there, and he was saying, well, how do you know she was the one who unsubscribed, which started a whole nother conversation on that particular post. Which I was telling him, well, you know how YouTube works. You should know how to know whether or not a person has unsubscribed to you, because really it will give you alerts to your phone if you're paying attention to them. But if you're not, but what I do have noticed about those alerts that you get when somebody's subscribing, when somebody unsubscribes to your channel, they don't stay on there. I mean, unless you clicking on it and you see it, they go away. Now, I don't know if it's in your YouTube account that you have, email that you have associated with your account or not, because that's not a real, it's a real email for me, but I don't really utilize that email. I use my main email. So I guess I would have to go back and see, did it alert me inside my regular email that's associated with my YouTube account. But anyway, so I made a post on there basically saying, well, I could tell when somebody unsubscribed. So someone that I don't even really talk to came and made a post talking about how she was the one who unsubscribed, which I was like, well, that's funny, because one, I don't really know who you are. Two, you literally, you haven't really, I haven't really talked to you. I don't really know who you are, as far as you're saying that you unsubscribe from me or whatever, but, and two, you waited literally almost, I think it was like 5 hours or 5, 6, 7 hours later to say that you were the one that unsubscribed from the channel. If you was the one who unsubscribed for the channel, then you would have literally just posted it when we were having the conversation, and you did not. Okay, so I basically was just calling her out on her bull crap, right? Which sparked Kimmy to make up a conversation about the ace guy. This was the very first time I learned about an ace guy. I never even heard of anybody about the ace. All I knew from Kimmy was she had a fake profile on her picture from initial. I made the comment, it looked like a younger version of Dodash. I said on my live, she looked like she was between 15 or 16. On the actual post, I just said it looked like a younger version of Dodash. But I was saying on the live to everybody else, it looked like she could have been 15 or 16 years old. In fact, I even went to another content creator, because literally after I got off that live with Kimmy, I had the hugest headache, because she talks to you literally in circles, right? But me being who I am, I like to try to help if I can. And if the live's still up, y'all, so if y'all want to go see the live, you can see everything for yourself, right? And I was basically trying to help her with what it was. But on this particular post, she was trying to make it seem like she had told me about Ace from the jump, which was an absolute lie. I never heard about this Ace, but not from her, but I myself have had a run-in with Ace, where we had a disagreement on his post before. So I know who she's talking about. He's very opinionated, and he does talk about Dodash and Dante London. But that was the very first time that I literally had spoken to her about an ace. And I'm trying to go back just to make sure, but maybe, hold up, let me go through all this stuff to see whether or not I'm wrong, okay? I'd rather make myself look bad before I make somebody else look bad. But lo and behold, no, it wasn't anything on there, right? Syndicated media on that particular post stated that he started talking to me about how he felt like I was wrong about her or whatever. I'm trying to explain to him why I thought it was, because it's the way she set it up, okay? But he was trying to tell me how he thought I was wrong, and she was never Kimmy and all this other stuff. I mean, she was never DoorDash, she was just Kimmy, and how, she's well known. Cause basically he's taking up for this woman, but I'm literally trying to explain to him through all this stuff or whatever. So then I made the comment about him and how he addresses me all the time, which I watch him do my videos. Before he became popular about the DoorDash exposure videos, he would come on my videos, watch my videos, and go on all my videos where he commented. If he don't go and try to delete it after this video, go on all my videos that I made about DoorDash before he started talking about DoorDash. He would come on there, he would make a comment, then he would go, oh, I didn't think of that, what you said. He'll go make a video and take what I said and basically change it up and make it seem like it is. Okay, so that's why I was saying about people take your stuff, but he's not the only one that did it. I was saying people take your stuff and don't give you acknowledgement for it, or just allow somebody. Now, what he did start doing was start to give acknowledgement to other people that brought him stuff. But whatever he got it from me, he did not say anything. He would not give me an acknowledgement. Matter of factly, when he first started, he did. He said, shout out to SkitLanta commentary, because he was saying how I stayed on her butt. Because initially, before he even got into the exposures, he was saying, oh, you on her neck, like you stand on her neck. And I was like, and that's because if you look at my video, I explained as to why I had stopped and now why I was coming back, because she's getting crazy with her stuff, right? So on that particular post, I was telling him that you keep trying to discredit me, but now you're trying to switch it as if I'm trying to discredit you, and I never did that. What I do, which anybody that knows me, that when I comment on people's stuff, if I see that somebody is saying something that has changed in the algorithm, I'll give you that information, so therefore it will help you. I was constantly doing that with him. Whenever he said something that wasn't right and I knew it had changed, I would tell him, because I realized he's stuck in the old system. He's not looking at the new system, but he will always try to come back and discredit everything that I said to him, right? And I made a comment even down to your watch time hours, where you were sitting here telling everybody you're about to be monetized, and I'm telling you, you're probably not, based on the views that you're getting on your videos because they weren't really long enough in order to accumulate the watch time hours. And I explained this to him on a video, okay? But he was trying to tell me how it was, and he have all these freaking channels and all this other stuff, which I basically told him on this post, like I said to everybody, do you want me to be honest and just tell you what I'm feeling, or you want me to basically like sugarcoat it? Either way, I could tell you the truth without lying to you. And he told me on there, no, just basically be honest. Tell me how you feel. And I was like, well, thank you. And so I'm telling him what was going on and how he's trying to discredit me. But when he comes on his channel talking about stuff, it's me he's trying to make look like I'm trying to discredit him. And I'm not. Dude, I'm literally trying to help you. I'm not trying to hurt you. I'm trying to help you just like anybody else. And so to try to make somebody feel like I'm attacking you when we're supposed to be on the same battle, you're wrong for that. And if I wanted to, at the time, I said I should have just went ahead and called this behind out from jump, but I did not, okay? Let him do what he do, right? But he constantly keeps talking and telling y'all stuff not to do, right? But yet he's doing the very thing he's telling y'all not to do. That sounds familiar? You know, a lot of larger platforms tell the small content creators not to do something, but yet you yourself are doing it, and you yourself are benefiting from it. And that was basically talking about the niching down, which a lot of older content creators do believe in niching down. They do. But in this new system, it's not even first necessary. Like a lot of people, content creators back in the day, wasn't niching down. They were doing what they want and still had great success with it. But really in this new system, it don't really matter about niching down. You don't have to have all these freaking channels out there. You can really consolidate it and do what you want on the one channel. Okay, so after I basically explained myself to him, he kind of fell off, right? But Kimmy kept writing me from different videos to different videos. This was all prior to us having that live on Carter's reaction on that live on Clones TV thing. She kept writing it. On one particular post she wrote, and at this time I'm still willing to talk, right? On one particular post, she wrote it up under Syndicated Media TV's post. And I'm trying to figure out, why is she writing this up under his post and not just writing it up under the post a whole bunch of posts we got going on my channel? Let's just talk on my channel. Why are you dragging this on this man's channel, right? Not realizing at the time, even from the time I had made the community post, from the time she had wrote those posts on his videos, it's not known to me at this time that Syndicated Media TV actually reached out to Kimmy. And they were having dialogue off the platform in an email, okay? I didn't know this, okay? I didn't know any of this, right? So that's why he was so dead set she wasn't DoDash, because he had literally talked to her. Well, when I was trying to explain it to Carter, when he was going all rampage, Carter done did a lot of wrong things, but I'm not finna sit here and make it seem like he did something that he did not do. I don't care who it is. I'm going to be honest about whoever it is. And he really took the stand as he thought he was really helping this woman. And it really took my daughter to kind of show me what was going on, because I was like, kind of like, this dude is a joke. Like, really? She was like, nah, Mom, you got to look at it from his point of view. If this woman is coming to him and she is talking to him, she's telling him the sob story, and he the type that want to defend somebody, he's going to do what he's doing. But he's doing it trying to help her, not knowing the whole time she's switching up stories and saying whatever, okay? So I was trying to go on Carter's Live, not to talk about Kimmy. I literally was going on Carter's Live to see, not even to talk, because I wasn't even going to talk to him. I was just wanting to see his side of the story of him in Lipstick as to why he did her the way he did her. And he basically said the same thing Lipstick said, but he just got pissed off that to him, it felt like she was taking over his live, right? Which, still, like I told Lipstick, she did nothing wrong. She was just trying to correct him. But if, he didn't want to hear it, okay, I guess, everybody can do whatever they want to on their channel or whatever. Not necessarily meaning I agree with what he did. But I was getting ready to get off. Just as I was getting ready to get off of his live, Kimmy popped up and said, asked Carter, could she come on there and talk, okay? And so he allowed her to. At that point, that's when I made my presence known on that live, that I was actually on Carter's live. And I was trying to talk to her, but because Carter wasn't hearing me, Carter the one who said, if you want to talk to her, then you talk to her on your live, do it on your time. But he's still taking a stance as if he's trying to defend her. That's why when we had the Clones TV live and we all talked it out, I told him, I was literally trying to tell you all this, but you didn't want to listen to me. And he was like, and you're right. He said, you're absolutely right. You did try to tell me. He said, but I'm so sorry. And he started calling me Miss SkitLanta. He started apologizing because he was like, why would I do that? You know, I'm for my black women and stuff like that. The way she presented it to me, as if you was bullying her, you was making video after video after video. And I'm like, I'm not making video after video after video. I'm just literally I made a video. I didn't even know who she was or about this fake page or whatever. That was the first video. The second video, I was talking about it on my live because she came on my live and I was like, oh, well, you better glad you changed that picture because you don't want nobody to think you're DoorDash. And it was because of the live that I left that live still thinking she was DoorDash because she was so adamant about a 3-minute short. If a video was 3 minutes or under, it was considered a short if you turn it vertical or horizontal. And so I'm looking at it like the only person I see talk about this is DoorDash. Girl, I ain't got time for this crap with you. You know, I entertained it because clearly you done lied again because I clearly asked her on that live, was she a content creator? She told me she was not a content creator. Okay, so therefore I'm trying to figure out, well, where are you getting this information from if you yourself isn't a content creator, right? But on the community post, when she was talking, where Syndicated TV and somebody, Black Queen, whatever her name was, on that community post, she was saying she told me she was a content creator. And I'm like, no, you did not. In fact, I asked you on that live, was you a content creator? And you told me no. Okay? She then proceeded to tell me how I knew her or whatever. And so then she started posting on other videos, trying to let me know, Tamara, you know me. And then she finally came out and said about her other channel, which she said she made mention of the other channel on the community post. But I'm like, what other channel? I don't know you as no other channel. And she was trying to say, well, I don't have to say that if I don't want to, which you're right. You don't have to say that if you don't want to. But if you set something up to make it look like something for somebody like me, then of course I'm going to think it's you. If all signs pointing to DoorDash, you know, they didn't have the interaction that I had with you, the rest of everybody else. That's why I said if I'm wrong, I will apologize and y'all don't stop talking to her because Kimmy as the person, she seems like a nice person. So y'all continue to, but because of how I'm feeling about her, how she left me feeling about her, I don't want nothing else to do with her, especially after she lied to me on multiple occasions. You lied because you never told me about Ace. You lied because you told me you wasn't a content creator. You lied because you tried to come on my videos acting like DoorDash and really you weren't DoorDash. It was just too many lies that she had done told me, right? But right before we had got on that Clones TV live and we had hashed it out or whatever and was talking about it, and I liked the way he did it. He allowed them to talk so everybody heard their story before actually hearing mine, and then he let me come in to explain, to piece it all together, what actually happened. And once Carter finally got a chance to hear me, he realized, oh, this is not what she did. SkitLanta, this is not what she did. She didn't, if she would have explained that to me the way you just sat here and explained it, and Clones TV asking her, is she saying something wrong? And she telling Clones, no, she ain't saying nothing wrong. Well then, I wouldn't have never did that. I wouldn't have jumped in between that because that's not how she presented it when she came to me, right? Now, prior to us getting on that live, talking with each other, Carter did another live video where he was talking to Kimmy about what was going on, and he was having Kimmy explain what had happened. And Kimmy at this time was trying to tell Carter she didn't agree with what he had did, and she never told him to do that to me. And so he was like, well, what this woman got you brainwashed? Because this is not what you told me the first. So I'm hearing everything he's saying, right? So literally as he's saying it, if you go back on my live that I recorded during the time he had his live, I'm repeating literally everything he and Kimmy is saying on my live, so the people that are not in his live can hear what he's saying, and y'all can compare the two. While I was doing that, Carter realized that I was on live, and he started listening to what I was saying, and then he was kind of counteracted with Kimmy by trying to get her to speak on what I was saying, right? And Kimmy was like saying stuff, and he was like, "Well, I don't know what's going on." If you can basically hear, why he talking, I don't know what's going on, because now, I don't know if this girl, he was basically cussing me. I don't know if she done brainwashed you or whatever. And I'm like, I ain't brainwashed nobody, because I ain't talked to nobody. Literally, it is what it is, and that did not actually happen. So, on that particular live, while I was repeating everything back, Kimmy made a statement that after I had made the video about her being DoorDash, she wanted to prove to me she was not DoorDash. She said between that time, Syndicated Media TV reached out to her and was talking to her, and he believed that she wasn't DoorDash. She then asked, because she was a content creator, she then said on the live that she asked Syndicated Media TV so he could show her face so she could prove that she wasn't DoorDash, all right? And that would kind of stop everything. But when she asked him, he told her that he doesn't do lives. At that time, and if I go back, I never seen him doing a live up until that point, okay? So I repeated on my thing. I said, well, she just said Syndicated Media TV told her to go to Carter, and that's why she went to Carter in the first place, okay? But after the live, Syndicated Media TV actually watched the live, and he made a comment, or either he was on there the whole time and he just waited until after my live was over, and then he made the comment. I don't know. It could be either way. But after the live was over, he left a comment on my live that he never told her to go to Carter. Okay? Which I just, whatever. Because why would she go there? She didn't even know who Carter was. Carter didn't even know who she was. So why would she go to Carter? Like, it ain't even first making any sense. Okay. But I'm just sitting there listening to her story. Okay. I'm just playing, not at the time because the lives had been over, but I was just replaying what the woman had said, and it makes sense that she went to you or asked you that if you was the one who said you reached out to her. Okay. But then we went on that live that night on Clones TV, and we was talking about it. Carter was trying to get her to say, well, who told you to come to me? Because he knew what she had done said on that live. But she would not say it, and he was pissing him off. It really was. And he was like, lady, I'm trying not to, just go. And then he started basically kind of go off on her because he had know what the woman had told him. And my daughter the whole time, she was like, mama, just go ahead and just end the live because people finna start jumping on her. Carter, just let it go. Just stop it, because they're gonna jump all down, jump all down her back, even though she done changed the story again, because we know what she said, because she literally wrote me an email explaining everything, and now she's trying to act like she ain't saying any of this. But on the Clones TV live, Clones was trying to ask Kimmy, did she feel like she did anything wrong in doing this? Kimmy said no, she didn't feel like she did anything wrong, and she was not going to apologize, right? After she said that, Derek, not Syndicated Media TV, but Derek said in the live, which is one of his other pages, he goes, well, I agree with Kimmy. I still agree with Kimmy. And he got off the live. So on my video, when I was talking about exposing everything as a whole, I was literally talking about people in general, just stuff that was going on in general. I wasn't saying anything specific. If anybody knows anything about me, if I'm going to say something about somebody and I want it to be directly, I'm going to call it out, okay? Or I'm going to separate it from what I'm saying. And on that particular video, I literally was talking about the stuff that I had encountered with DoorDash, and stuff that had happened to me from various different content creators. Now, it did happen with me with Syndicated TV, but I wasn't just focusing on him, because it wasn't just him who had did me like that. There was other people that had did it to me, treated me that way, but I didn't purposely call out their names because I'm not trying to hurt them in any way. But you know what you did, and if the dagger hits you, the dagger hits you, right? But on one particular part of my video, I say, Now I ain't talking about nobody else, but on this particular one, I am. When you go out of your way to try to make yourself known, because you're trying to, contradict what somebody else is saying. I was really saying that for 2 parts. Okay. And then when I said it, and that goes out for a specific person. Now, on that note, I was talking about syndicated media TV, because he keep doing the crap, and he keep doing the crap slick. And then basically, you know what they said? They say throw the rock and hide the hand. That's basically what he's doing. Okay. So, so that was directed to him, even though I didn't say his name. Okay. But I was talking about the live, that we had on Clones TV, and I also was talking about how he girl to go over there, and then trying to act like he didn't tell that girl to go over there, Carter. As well as I was talking about TV. Now, mind you, syndicated media TV has never been on Clones TV and got on his phone line. This particular day, when I'm talking to Clones TV about, now he could have been on Clones TV, but he never made his presence known as far as writing anything or saying anything, right? This particular day, we was on Clones TV, and I was telling him how it worked. So he goes above and beyond to call in to try to counteract what I was telling Clones TV, as if what I was saying wasn't true, right? But then when Clones TV was questioning him about what he was saying, he literally says the same thing I said in my notes. Dude, what are you talking about? Okay, I know exactly what it was. We were talking about exposures and how exposures should be handled. And so he was saying, Clones TV was saying he heard something about the time it only had to be a few seconds. I literally said it really doesn't matter about the seconds or how long. You literally have to alter your information. So I'm writing him on this. Clones TV is reading what I'm saying. Syndicated media feels the need to jump in to try to correct me, because clearly people don't know what they're talking about, and she's wrong because this is how it does. But here's the thing, syndicated media TV, you just started doing exposure videos. You don't really know what you're doing. Heck, when I first started doing exposure videos, I didn't know what I was doing. So now you're the expert on how to do exposure videos when you literally just started doing this mess. Okay, but you're trying to knock a person that has did extensive researching because I messed up on my original exposure videos, and now I don't want anybody to have this issue, so I'm letting people know how to actually go about it. He goes above and beyond to jump on this live to try to discredit me, and then once again trying to discredit what I'm saying. And then when Clones TV started to questioning about what he said, he reverts back to the same goddamn thing that I sat just moments ago had just sat there and wrote. I mean, I'm like, dude, what is it with you? Like, it's like this dude is trying to make himself be something that he's not. Okay. And he's seeing how it's benefiting him. He's seeing that he's getting the views for doing exposures, which is fine. This platform is big enough for all of us, right? But it's the slick tactics that you're using trying to profit off of what's going on. You tried to get Kimmy to go over to Carter to spark a problem, because you knew anybody that watched Carter. If you've been on this platform for a long enough time as a content creator, you know how that boy operate. The fact you set that girl over there or that woman over there to him for him to put personal information about not even first me, about other people, because my stuff I put it out there myself. Okay, so it wasn't really like no information. The fact that you sent her over there to start this mess, it really pissed me off, and I wanted to address you then, but I was just trying to let it go. After Kimmy started reaching out to me and not calling me, she kept reaching out to me via emails trying to get me to talk to her. At that point, I'm like, I ain't got nothing else to say. But I really did want to talk to her to give her closure, because personally, I think when it comes to Kimmy, something is a little bit off. Like, it really is. I really should have picked up on that early on in the conversation when I was on that initial live. And I'm not trying to throw jabs at her. I just think the way her understanding is a little bit, So depending on who she's talking to, her stories might change if that's what's going on with her. Okay. Because she was also telling me in the emails how she was stressed out and stuff like that. And so I'm feeling bad for her. So even though I want this stuff to kind of dissipate, I make a last final video basically just saying I have no hard feelings, but at this point, because you done lied, you done changed your story, you try to throw me out there. Like if I'm sitting here bullying you, and I know good and well I'm not bullying you. Okay. I'm just done with it. But I just really want to give like a last final video to kind of just seal the deal and just let this go, right? But from that point, Mr. Syndicated Media TV basically trying to call out stuff that how other content creators are trying to make him seem. I thought we was on the same. You giving subliminal messages to your people versus just coming out and being real and honest about what and how all this stuff went down. Like I said on a post. And really, I really didn't care, because after I realized what he did, I unsubscribed from his behind. You know, I will watch him because we're still on the same mission, just like I watch Carter. But I ain't got nothing to say. I got absolutely nothing else to say on his videos. If you notice, since then, I haven't wrote another comment on his video. I have not offered any more advice to him because I see the slick tactics that he's using in order to try to flip stuff for his benefit. And you're not finna utilize me, because before you utilize me, baby, I will flip this and let everybody know the truth. Okay. And this is why this video was coming on here, basically sending out subliminal messages. So when DoorDash came out with that video and she was talking about her weight loss program, I'm basically saying, because I'm now covering I even said it in the video, that last final video, I was saying how I figured out another way I can kind of do exposure videos, basically like covering all angles, and the way Clones TV had set it up for everything to come out with with me and Carter. If anybody, I was going to think of a way of trying to do that, but just in a different little way, because, you know, I don't necessarily agree with the whole setup that they did. Like, but it's just a way of, a person can have an outlet, because I don't want it to do it as, we banning somebody from the channel. No, I didn't want it to do that. Just to be heard, because at the end of the day, that's how I felt with Kimmy. All she just really wanted was to be heard. That's it. And it got stretched out way further than it should have. But after that, I was just like, I just wash my hands of that. You know, I'm just watching just like I watch with everybody else, because I'm doing my research, I'm looking. Okay, so on that video where I was talking about not going too fast, I literally was talking about myself, because if y'all don't remember, I did a video where I said DoorDash was talking to her, talking to God or her inner thoughts. I really don't know when. It was early in the morning. In the video, I explained the reason why I was up that early, not because I'm waiting on her to drop a video, because my sleep pattern was off and I just so happened to catch it. Well, I made a video about that. I went to bed that night. The very next morning, between the time I got up, she had deleted the video, right? So there was no proof of what I was saying, right? And I was the only one that had caught it, because I was really the only, because it was me and a couple of her followers that actually saw that video. But the way I record my videos, I was able to post up what she actually did, right? But that's where she got me at, because I jumped too fast. If I would have just waited on that and not posted it so fast, then I could have kind of seen where she went, or I could have set her up with her own video just a little bit deeper. So what I did do when I was doing the inner thoughts of DoorDash, and I was doing the little skits where I brought in Latoya Jones this time, I made a joke where I was joking at myself, was saying how I posted the video too soon. And then I was saying how DoorDash was saying, oh, don't worry about it, because I made up a lie saying that my neighbors was knocking on the wall. But I didn't hear no neighbors knocking on the wall. But lo and behold, she actually made a video where it sounded like somebody was knocking on the wall. She just didn't use the video that I had did. So now, today, looking at what's happening now, watching, because I'm just watching at this point. I'm not saying absolutely nothing. I ain't talking to nobody, because I ain't giving out no ideas. I'm absolutely not. You know, because just like she's taking from what we're saying and she's changing it, other content creators are doing the same thing. So if it's something I don't want to offer you your information, or matter of fact, I think I said it on my post when we were talking on the community post. I ain't gonna make your job easy. He was like, what you mean making my job easy? I was basically hinting to you, sir, I see that you're taking my stuff and you're taking it and making it into your own based off of stuff nobody else is talking about but me. But since you have all these channels and you're just talking from one channel to the next about different stuff, you're migrating your people, and that's how you're getting your views. Okay, but yay, it's your thing, you do it. But I see what you're doing. Okay, so, and like I said, he is not the only one that is doing this, right? So that's where that whole thing came from. But what really got me was the stuff that I was saying in the video. I wasn't knocking anything about syndicated media TV. I wasn't saying nothing ill will towards them, but my own viewers that watch me was saying how they felt like, well, one in particular, and I don't think she minds me talking about, because we actually talked about it on my live too, and I was explaining it where she can hear it outside of the text, where she was basically saying how a good job by uploading quickly after the videos or whatever. And I'm like, what are you talking about? I'm literally talking about myself when I did it, because I'm thinking to myself, that's not the first time she did it. She did it with me with the when she was talking to God early in the morning, or her big brain. She did it when she did that whole video trying to tell the teenagers not to go get a real job, but to jump on YouTube. I recorded.
And YouTube is the best place to be. If you're a comedian, if you're an artist, you like to draw, you like to paint. Do you know how many people are painting on YouTube, getting millions of views, making millions of dollars? They don't even show their face. They just paint. Look it up. It's a thing. Follow them. Find out how you can be the best you. But don't let your talent die inside of you. Don't let fear lead you because you're afraid that you won't have $100 to pay your phone bill this week. What you don't know, you'll have $1,000 in a week on YouTube if you get on YouTube and start your YouTube. I believe in YouTube. YouTube is for the creatives. Even if I'm making $200 a day or $100 a day, that's enough to where I can put my time and my effort into my creativity. And I want that for you. Somebody commented and they said, because of you, DoorDash, I started a Pinterest and now I get over 95,000 views a month because I started my Pinterest. And this person gets over 95,000 views a month on their Pinterest. I am here to stir up gifts. And that is what I'm going to do. And I believe that you are brilliant and you are better than Popeyes. You are better than McDonald's. Always keep in your mind that you are so much better than that. Always keep that in your mind. Your personality is too amazing. You're going hard just to get that job. You can go so hard for yourself and grow a community, an audience of people who are willing to pay you, who are willing to show up to watch your talent, who are willing to pay to see you on that movie. You have a talent and a gift inside of you that is so much more than what you think. You're so worried about getting that job. You'll get the job. You'll get the job. And if you don't get the job, let that be your sign. You are so much better. Get your ass on YouTube. And I will scream it from the mountaintops because it changes lives. And people don't say it enough. I love y'all. I'm sorry I look crazy, but I just had to get that out.
Yeah, but I didn't post it because I was trying to see where she was going with that. But she kind of like, she deleted it and she dropped it off and never was talking about it again. In fact, Sam16 had made a community post and he was saying, did anybody see that video? Syndicated Media TV said he did. I posted on Sam16, not Syndicated Media TV, that I did watch it and I did record it. But because of what she did to me the first time, I was not finna post it up there because I want to see. Now I'm watching. I want to see what you're going to do. Okay? So when she came out with this whole weight loss plan or whatever for $25, Syndicated Media, he made a video. But a lot of I was in the process of making a video as well about what was going on. And if you ever notice, a lot of times, right as either right after I do a video or right after he do one of my videos are uploading. That's because, y'all, I'm not real savvy and quick with the equipment that I have. So it takes me a little bit because when I'm recording a video, I record it, I go back, I watch it, I edit it, I do other stuff like that. That's why I said some people might think videos aren't edited, but they're edited. It might not be. They might not really be real noticeable, but they're edited. And it takes time to do that. So, like, literally, when I make a 30-minute video, it probably take me about an hour and a half to get it up there. So, it's after the fact when a lot of people are doing it. So, when I made that video, I'm literally talking about myself before, he does this, and he goes and he's talking about it or whatever. He comes back and he makes a video about she's taking it off. And I'm talking about, and I'm looking at how she did me with the God thing in the bathroom, how she also did the one about the teenage thing. And I'm like, it's patterns. You got to watch their patterns. That's why it's not important. That's not why you shouldn't just follow every single thing that she does. She needs to look. So I'm trying to, even though I'm not really speaking to this man because on his videos, because me personally, I know I got a slick mouth, and I'm going to say some things that some people might not like, okay? So I just remove myself off of that. But I got my own platform. I can talk on my own platform about anything. So I'm sitting here trying to talk about, how maybe you need to wait with her because she's playing off of this. She's literally waiting for us to make videos about her. And then whatever we say, she's going to delete it and alter it based off of the fact, of what we said. And on Syndicated Media video TV, he was saying something similar to what I had already pre-recorded. Okay. because literally we're talking about the same people, but on his video, he was talking on the more of the lines that he can't believe this woman. It's like she just won't stop and all this other stuff. Well, that's because you're new to this, okay? This was what this woman has always did. Literally have always did. And this ain't nothing new. She's been doing this for years. For years. So even if she wanted to get it right, you got to kind of give her an opportunity to get it right, right? But once my regular viewer made these comments about syndicated media TV, I'm trying to figure out, like, why is she saying anything about him? Because I'm literally not saying anything bad about him. I'm talking about me for one, and I'm talking about content creators as a whole, because I'm not just exposing just the person. I'm exposing everything leading up around, and to show you why it's happening, to give you a clear picture and using it as a teaching moment. But then she says to me how she wanted to really say something when all that stuff was going on with Kimmy, but she was confused. So now I'm trying to explain to her, there's stuff that you really don't know about behind the scene that no viewer really knows what's going on. Okay, so, but now I'm getting a clearer picture as to why she's feeling the way she's feeling, because my video seems somewhat similar to what he's talking about. And so she's trying to pair it together, because she's like, well, I know you're talking certain things you're talking about. I know that you're talking about him. And so she gives an example. She says about the one-on-ones. And this was way before any of this stuff had happened that I had said about the one-on-ones. If you don't believe me, go back to my other video where it says a new scam, a new Cash App scam, because I was really one of the first ones to talk about it on my platform. Okay? $25 shout out. And I said on that particular video, this is where she has played herself, because guess what? You're trying to get the money, but you'll never be able to do what you're doing. It's literally, you're trying to be a one-woman show where you need people on your team helping you. You're not going to be able to do this. So as a business, it makes absolutely no sense. One, it makes no sense because you can't guarantee these people anything. I said this on my original video. You can't guarantee those people anything as far as them shouting you out. Two, and that's when she took it from the $200, and I made another video after that. She took it from a $25 shout out to the $200 review. And in her video, she basically says, this is just the same thing as a shout out. And I'm like, well, why are you charging people $175 for the same thing when the $25 didn't do it? Okay. But he was literally taking what I was saying and creating it into his own thing. Right. But then he would talk about key pointers that I was the only one talking about. And he would pull it and he will make it seem like his own. And just because he has a bigger platform, even though it looks like we have the same platform far as the subscriber count, we don't. This man has 5 channels total, okay? And all he does is migrate it from one to the next. But yet he tells y'all only to keep one niche on your channel. But if that's the case, sir, then why do you have sports and exposures on the same channel, right? But yet you kind of counteract it with saying, well, if it don't work, then I'll just start all over. I done did this again. I done did it before, I can do it again. Who wants to do that? Who wants to go through it? At this point, you're just gaslighting because you're trying to camouflage and throw something up in front of people's faces that's not really happening. Look here, y'all. If I want to address somebody, I'm going to just take it. I don't know why this is, it's not clear. If I want to address something about somebody, I'm going to take it straight to them. I don't give a god darn who you are. Okay? If it's fact, it's fact. or whatever. If I feel a certain way, I'm gonna say it. If I'm talking in general, I'm gonna let you know I'm talking in general. If I'm talking about a specific person, I'm gonna tell you about a specific person. But with this particular viewer, we kind of spear off to other things that he was saying, almost as if I was sitting there talking about him. And I'm like, where are you getting this from? Why I never said what he was doing was wrong as far as the one-on-ones and doing channel reviews for people. I never said that. So where are you getting this from? Only thing I said was, if anybody wasn't trying to come to condemn me, all I was saying was, with just like I said with DoorDash, a person doing a one-on-one with that magnitude of people coming to you for one-on-ones, for businesses, it does not make any sense. And if you really want to really go in debt with somebody, you need to go behind in their analytics to really help them. But as far as the people, I believe he's doing an awesome job compared to DoorDash, because she wasn't really telling them absolutely nothing. But as far as a business and you're doing it for free, then it doesn't make any sense, because if you're going to go behind the analytics and really study their analytics, you need to make sure you're compensated at least for your bills. So that way, if you're spending more of your time on their stuff versus yours, your stuff is paid for. So how am I saying what he is doing is wrong? I'm not saying what he's doing is wrong. I'm saying it makes absolutely no business sense, but it's not wrong for the people. In fact, I applaud him because, one, he changed his story as to how he was going to do that. Because I don't know if y'all are paying attention to the comments, but originally when he was talking about the $200 channel reviews, doing them the same way that DoorDash had did them, he said that he was creating a form so that people could come on and put their information in the form, and then he'll reach back out to you. And right now it's going to be free, but I don't know, moving forward, I might, make a charge a fee. And he said that not in a video, but he said it in the comments, y'all. And then he started making jokes about how he gonna charge something, because he's trying to prep y'all as if I change it won't be a big blow to me, because then it's going to be like how I'm talking about DoorDash saying she's going to give something for free when I myself is now finna charge. No, it's just called having business sense. If you're sitting up there stretching yourself out to help people, you need to be compensated for it. But now after not only this viewer done made mention of it, another viewer I ain't never even seen before done came and said, talking about parasocial, parallels, not really saying the name. I'm like, what in the world is everybody talking about? So now I'm going back and I'm watching his video in detail now, and he keep throwing little slick comments in his videos about how content creators, we're supposed to be on the same fight. And they're going against what he's saying. No, you big liar. They just don't know what's going on. And I was trying to let it go. But since you want to sit up here and try to profit it off of something that really you helped create, and yes, you helped create that. You sent that girl over there to Carter, and if that's not true, that's what she said on the live, honey. She said it, okay? But we know she changed the story. She done changed the story so many times with me. She done changed the story so many times with Carter, and I got a story in writing, okay? And it's not what she's saying from one person to the next. That's why I said I'm just gonna go ahead and watch myself of her, because clearly this woman got something on. Either she wants to be seen by the public without actually being a content creator. Because even in that video, even in that comment post when she wrote, she said that originally on her original channel, but she got sick and then she stopped making content. But when I went back on the one that she claims was her original, there's no videos on that. So once again, she lied. So like I said, whether or not she lied or she didn't lie, I don't know. I don't know if Syndicated Media TV actually sent her over there, because according to him, he's saying he didn't send her. But according to her, she said he did. But to me, I'm looking at like, well, why would she go to Carter out of all people? There's so many different people that have lives that me and her are associated with. She could have really went to Clones Media TV herself and went on his live, but she chose not to do that. That's a mutual person that we had, that she could have went there and he would have handled that a whole lot different than Carter. What really made her go to Carter? Okay. And after the fact, Carter wrote an email showing where she was begging and basically pleading with him and stuff like that to give her another chance and give her another chance. Give you another chance for what? To make this man look like a fool? Like you did the last time? Okay? Like I said, I don't agree with the tactics that he used, but if he's not wrong, I'm not going to make him seem like he was wrong. I'm not. He was misled by misinformation. But this whole thing with syndicated media TV trying to make it seem like I'm the one who is the content creator that is kind of going against what he's saying based off of what I'm saying on my video. Boy, you got another thing coming, and I will call your behind out on every freaking video if I have to until they can see who you really are. But do not play with me, okay? Please don't play with me, because I will give you what you want, all right? But anyway, like I said, y'all, and I'm sure people gonna be, oh, I can't believe she's saying this about syndicated media. You cannot believe it if you want to, but baby, the proof is in the pudding. It's still on videos. It's still on posts. It's still to be seen. So everything I'm saying is still on lives. It's still out there to be seen. So if you really want the truth, just go look at it and find out the truth, and stop listening to people that just sit up here and lie, just straight up lie. This is crazy to me. I said in a short where a lie is more entertaining than the truth, because people just don't want to know the truth. But if you want to know the truth before you pass judging on me, you better go do your research. Okay, please do your research. Now, that my particular viewer that I'm well aware of, we talked. She understood what I was saying a little bit better when I went on live last night, and so that kind of cleared the air with her. But if she's feeling like this and she is a dedicated watcher of my videos, I felt the need to go ahead and make this video so everybody can see the full picture on what's really going on. And y'all can continue to follow syndicated media TV all day long if you want to. I'm not telling y'all not to do that, okay? But just know what type of person he is, and how he tried to utilize everything for his benefit, all because he himself wants views, subscribers, and money off of this platform, and keep giving people bad information about how to actually do stuff that really ain't even first right. But hey, I'll let y'all listen to him, and then y'all can figure it out on your own when you realize what he's saying ain't correct. But as always, be your brothers and sisters keeper. Keep God first. And toodles.